Well, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me on A Sister's Trust. Well, we've been talking about doing Ruth for a while, so let's really get started. So, what I want to do is break it up in different segments and just break it down and just see how strong Ruth is. It gives us a chance to see what her character was, see how we, as women could be like Ruth. So many different things that we can really take away from this subject of Ruth. And I want us to really study out together, just really take our time and just not drag it out, but really get something from it. So let's jump in Ruth chapter 1. Okay, so in verse 1, it talks about Naomi loses her husband and sons. Wow. You know, it's a lot to lose one person, but to lose your husband and your sons, more than one thing that's going on in Naomi's life, right? He said, in the days of Judges, in the days when Judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judea came together with his wife and two sons. They went to live for a while in the countryside of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech. His wife's name was Naomi, and the names of the two sons was Malone and Kilon. They were Ephraites from Bethlehem. Hold on one second. Um, from Bethlehem in Judea, and they went to Moab to live there. Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died. She was left with her two sons. They married Moabitess women, and one name was Oprah and the other name was Ruth. After they had lived there about 10 years, both Malone and Kilion also died, and Naomi was left without her two sons and her husband. Now, that was Ruth chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. Okay, so it's a lot already that went on in these first few scriptures. um, Naomi, they went, it was a famine in the land, so they moved, to a different city. Um, and you think when you go forward or you make plans to live somewhere, you plan to do it together. You know where in your deepest heartfelt soul or your mind that you're not going to be there without your husband. And they're alone. Then now, Naomi, she also lost her two sons. They did get married, but they died within them 10 years. That had to be pretty tough for Naomi. So I want to think about if you was Naomi, how would you feel? Would you give up? Would you be mad at God? Would you still trust God? You know? Now you left with two daughter-in-laws. How would you feel about that? You could barely survive and provide for yourself, and then you lost your husband. What are you thinking about you having two daughter-in-laws? How can you step up to the plate? You know, as women sticking together. So I want you to read that Ruth chapter 1, verses 1 through 5, and then come up with some ideas and questions of what you want to talk about. All right. So I'm going to stop it there and then we're going to go on. Okay. All right, you guys, y'all have a great day. And thank you for joining me on A Sister Trust. Remember Ruth chapter 1, verses 1 through 5.